When we have the initiation of Lama Tsongkhapa, then the practice will be more extensive. The practice will be much more detailed and longer, but of course the benefits and attainments are faster. So therefore, without initiation, the benefits are definitely still there, but more effort will be required. But anyways, it's good to do it without initiation first. When we do Lama Tsongkhapa's Guru Yoga, we can do it with the ritual items or without. Either way is alright. But what would be very good, not totally necessary, but would be very good is to have a very nicely set up altar. If you are in retreat of Lama Tsongkhapa, then if you look at the back of the book, there's a retreat manual and offerings you require. If you're not in retreat, then simple sensory offerings like that daily would be alright for now. So we have the offering. The first one is offering of water. The second one is offering of washing the foot water. Third one is flower. Next one is incense, light, perfume, food, and music. Now, those are symbolic of the visualizations. We should visualize offerings to be padameva, means without end. Many. We should get the best offering vessels that we can afford. The offering vessels that are considered very good would be clay, copper, silver, and gold. These are considered very good. Of course, we can use whatever we can get our hands on. The offering cups and offering items should not be used by yourself or anyone else. They should be used specifically only for the enlightened beings, for Buddha. They should be offered in the morning and cleared out in the afternoon or evening. When you offer, it's from left to right. When you clear it, it's from right to left. When you offer, it's from left to right. When you clear, from right to left. That's not something very strict. You can do left and left, right, it's okay also. Offer fresh, new items. Do not always offer leftovers or things you don't like. Don't leave any candles unattended. When you go off, you can recite Om Ahom and blow it out. The fillings of the sensory offerings can be anything you like. Rice, pearls, beans, whatever you can afford. The reason you're offering these items to Lama Tsongkhapa is not because he's in need of them. You're offering these items to Lama Tsongkhapa is because you wish to gather a spiritual force that's very powerful. That spiritual force is called merits. When the merits are very powerful, it becomes a backup for your meditational practice. So when you do Lama Tsongkhapa's meditations, you need to back it up with merit. When you have merit, the meditational practice will bear fruit. It will have result. If you do not collect merit, then it's very difficult to bear fruit. If you can offer more than this, that's very good. In fact, during your lifetime, you should try to offer 100,000 bowls of water during your lifetime. Like when I was in Ganden, I would do, depending on time, between 450 to 750 bowls of water per day I would do myself. Because I didn't have enough bowls, I had to do 2 rounds. And so I've not completed my 100,000, but that's what I was doing in India, 450 to 750 a day. So I'll do like 200 or 300, pour the water, set it, make my prayers, make the offerings, then clear it immediately, and the water I put onto the flowers. Making offerings to the 3 jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, is one of the most powerful ways to collect energy that fuels the spaceship of your Dharma practice. Lama Tsongkhapa's practice is really like a spaceship. It can just take you to another dimension, another planet super fast, but it needs fuel. And the fuel is merit. His Holiness the 13th Dalai Lama, Gyalwa Thupten Gyatso, says in the Bodhisattva Warrior, those who do not make offerings or make extensive offerings or good offerings is a clear sign of their narrow and stingy spirituality, that they're not serious about their spiritual practice. To think that we don't need to make offerings every day is wrong view. Because even great enlightened masters, great highly attained masters like Atisha and Lama Tsongkhapa made water offerings to the Buddha every single day. So, as according to His Holiness the 13th Dalai Lama, to make offerings every single day would be, he says this, would be a wonderful, powerful, and very necessary practice for lay people. His Holiness says. Why? Because lay people have very little ways to collect merit. So this would be a wonderful way for lay people to collect merit. You don't need to doubt merit. Let me tell you why. Do you have sufferings in your life? they have ups and downs, doubt, death, old age. Well, that's a clear sign of negative karma. If there's negative karma, there has to be positive karma. If there's positive karma, there must be a type of energy, merit, that can take us out of all of this. So collecting merit is very, very, very important. And one of the practices is making offerings on our altar every day. Every single day. Carefully, concentrated, with a lot of fervor and excitement and understanding. And you should get the best offering vessels. The best. That's why in KP, I encourage the KP managers to go and bring the best silver items. The silver items that I have there is not to make money. It's not to make money. The margin is very small. The very purpose is that all of you can collect merit. In the monasteries, in High Lama's houses and practitioners, they always get silver offerings to offer to the Buddhas. As I said, and I joked with you before, you have nice cars, nice house, why not nice things for the Buddha? In fact, for your altar, you should have the best. It should be the most beautiful. You should run to KP and get those silver bowls and bring it back, clean it. Don't clean too hard. Silver is soft, so it bends. Clean it well. After you cleaned it, put some flour or some rice inside so it's not empty, and do the King of Prayers. Do the King of Prayers before you make your first offering. And say to Lama Tsongkhapa, from now on, every time I make silver offerings to you, may every wish I have in the King of Prayers come true. So every time you use the silver offerings, you should do it. It's very important. Do you know in the monasteries, when someone passes away, the people come and make offerings to the High Lamas and the Rinpoches and Geshis and old monks. We call that Ngodin. Ngodin is death money. And I had a little container for death money because I get a lot of offerings for people who have passed away. So it's very bad to use that money for yourself, like for food or whatever. So we collected death money. I did. And what I would do is I would buy silver bowls and offer it to the monastery, offer it to my guru, offer it to the Buddhas. I would collect that. Why? Because then the person who died, their last money is dedicated into something perfect, precious, and beautiful. And it's offered to the Buddha every day for them. So you collect merit for them. So if you have a death in the family, you should get a set of silver bowls. Offer it for them. It's never enough. And then, let's say your house gets robbed, they steal your silver bowls. Still steal the merit's already been collected. Anyway, you have to leave it at death. Encourage your children and the young ones to make offerings on the altar. Let me tell you why. When you teach young people to make offerings, when they grow up, they tend to be less miserly, emotionally, and financially. They become less miserly. Because making offerings is a direct counter to miserly action, miserly attitude. It's very important. Very, very important. Every year, if you're doing business, working, you should save up and do one set of silver bowls every year. So you accumulate 2, 3, 4 sets. Then when you do retreat, you have more silver bowls as opposed to less. Why silver? Silver is considered something precious in this world. In other worlds, silver is not a big deal. Since it's precious, it costs more money to buy. When we use more money to buy something precious, it counters miserliness. So when you offer that to the Buddhas, it creates the perfect situation for gaining wealth for your spiritual practice. Everything on your altar must be the best quality. Everything offered to the Buddha must be the best quality. And use that as a spiritual practice every single day. Is that 100% necessary? No. There are great practitioners like Milarepa who had nothing, who stayed in a cave and used, wooden bowls as offerings. But you see, Milarepa is different than us. Milarepa renounced everything. Women, drinks, wine, fun, games, money, power, house, family, and stays 100% in meditation to practice, so he gains merit for the meditation. I don't think any of you are Milarepa. So if you can become a monk and nun, you don't need to buy silver bowls. You can collect merit in other ways. If you're going to be a Milarepa and go meditate, that's fine. Some people say that, Milarepa didn't have any of that and he became enlightened. That's right. And if you can do what Milarepa did, you can become enlightened too. So does silver bowls make you enlightened? No. No. But one of the facets of enlightenment is getting rid of miserliness. And what better ways to make offerings to the three jewels? That's right. Silver bowl for your mom's birthday. Silver bowl for your son's birthday. Certainly better than the other stuff you've been buying them. Silver bowl for your father's birthday. My father is going to make offerings. That's okay. You buy it for your father's birthday. You make offerings for your father. And keep doing it. Make offerings, beautiful offerings. Then it will support and supplement your spiritual practice. Do you need to rely on silver? No. No. If you really cannot afford, it's not because you're stingy or not because you didn't, save up and be thrifty. You really cannot. Of course, anything else can. Of course, stainless steel, plastic, I've used that before. Aluminum, why not? Don't make that as an excuse to do or not do. Get the bowls and make offerings every single day. Accumulate 100,000 offerings. Accumulate 100,000 as a minimum. I've already done my 100,000 butter lamps. This one I haven't done yet. But I'm lucky because I can make up for it, not substitute, by giving Dharma teachings, by working for others, doing divinations, giving advice, building a center, providing books for people. So I can make up for it as a monk. So making offerings, the best quality for lay people, is extremely important. Very important. Always stop making excuses, cannot. Why? If you make excuses, cannot, then you tell everybody the Buddha's wrong. Khensu Jamba Yeshe Rinpoche, one of my teachers I live with in Ganden, made 49 bowls of offerings every single day on his own, although he was 70, 80 years old. His hands shake because he's older. He would steady his hands like this. He put the bowls down, then he'd hold his hands like that and hold the picture and he'd offer it. And the water would splatter all over. We didn't say anything. Every day he would do it. And before he goes to sleep, he would do 25 prostrations. And he's already an abbot, a very high Lama, very attained. It's well known he's one with Yamataka already. Well known. I only see him as Yamataka. I never see him as a human being. Never. And he made water offerings every single day. And whenever I got a little bit of sponsorship money from my friends, whatever, I would go and buy silver bowls. I offered to Khensu Rinpoche. All the time. So by the time I was done, Khensu Rinpoche had like 8, 9, 10 sets of silver bowls. And I would say, Rinpoche, you're going to make offerings every day. I'm so lucky. It's going to be used to make offerings to Buddha by you. I mean, how lucky was I? I didn't use many silver bowls on my altar because I was sneaky. I know he's a Buddha. If he offers, it'll be more beneficial. Rinpoche does the work, I get the merit. But it wasn't exactly like that technically, but you know what I mean. Oh yes, I would offer my guru silver bowls, silver mandalas, anything I can. Because I know by offering to my guru, I will gain attainments. I have no doubts about that. Okay, so have the most beautiful altar. Beautiful statue with wonderful items inside filled, and have the Shapten Kang, they're really well trained, bless your statues with Ramne and Sundrup pujas. That must be done. And then when you invite your statues home, flowers, candles, incense, have a little party, have a little buffet, invite friends over, invite over like Lama Tsongkhapa is really coming to your house. When we invited special guests, we have a little party. Because when you treat the statues, if they're real, they will become real. Because some statues, you look at them, the faces are alive. Alive. So get the best, the biggest. And instead of being stingy, you should look for people. You should look for victims to keep big statues you can give to. They make offerings, you get the merit. Look for victims. Oh, that looks like a good little Dharma sucker. Let me give him a 3-foot Tsongkhapa. He make offering, I claim merit. I mean, how to keep 20 altars. So if you give 20 away, 20 people do the offerings. It sounds funny, but it's for real. That's why every single person who sees me gets a statue of Tata. Now you know why. Every person gets a statue. They go, Rinpoche, you're so kind and generous. You gave me a statue. But actually, I'm thinking they're going to go home, make offerings. I'll collect merit too. That's what I really believe. So yes, I've been using you. Sorry.